Hey everyone, today I have here a couple of LEGO Minecraft sets for you to check out. I've got the Illager Raid, and then as a little bonus up here, this is the Taiga Adventure. So I want to get in first to the big set, which is most of the bulk of what you see here. And for a change, I'm going to start with the figures because I think they're interesting. First, for the Illagers themselves, I've got a Pillager Captain here and a Vindicator. Now there's an interesting thing for me with these. The height of the eyes bothers me. Looks like it's a little bit better with the Pillager there, but just look at the banner. This shows you what the eye placement should be for those. Strangely, I've not been bothered so much before about villagers, LEGO Minecraft villagers and their eye placement, but here it's really distinct and really bugs me, I think because the eyes need to be lower to make them look more mean, because they're supposed to be, they're bad. They're things that are trying to be angry at everything. The designs on these two are somewhat simplified with just plain solid colored legs, but the torso prints look pretty good to me. That crossbow looks very good, works well, fits into the hand of a LEGO minifigure really well. And if I can get these to slip past each other, there we go. There are the full prints on the backs of their torsos. For villagers, we get a cleric on the left, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the one on the right is unemployed, just a default one. These are both in their desert garbs, and LEGO does not do any specialized printing or headgear for the heads of the villagers, which is okay, but they do end up looking a little bit plain to me. And again, the eye placement is not quite correct, but for some reason, I'm more okay with these. The lone hero or player character is something I find to be fascinating. This is officially Kai from Ninjago, switched over to the Minecraft world, and I think that's just fantastic. I think it's a type of crossover that works so darn well, and I fully support it. I mean, who's to say that Minecraft isn't one of the realms that is frequently talked about in Ninjago? So this is actually Kai, not just someone in a Kai, Minecraft skin, and he's got a diamond sword there, and I think this looks pretty cool. A couple neutral living entities here with the cat on the left and the pig on the right. This is a particularly colorful. I think it's the most colorful of the cats in Minecraft, if I'm not mistaken, if I recall correctly. I haven't played in a while, but that looks really good to me. I like the color scheme there. I mean, it's not that complex how it's built, but it definitely works for me. And you can never have too many pigs because they can just roam around. This is a Ravager, and I think it looks pretty good, although it is rather static. The legs don't move, they are really completely locked into place. This has a unique print for the eyes there, and the build of it is pretty appropriate. It doesn't have the same level of detail as the in-game model, but given that this is not all full of stickers and or expensive prints, I think that the designer did a pretty good job with it. I appreciate the studs on the side, well, kind of hybrid studs on the side and studs right side up construction for the legs there. And this has a built-in action feature that actually totally makes sense. Right here, you just push on that and it does the headbutt. That's fantastic. It has a rubber band built in to the center of it in the core. It's mostly hidden away. The mouth, you can see, drops when that happens. That's just good. And you can easily leave off most of this without completely removing the function by just pulling that off, and that simplifies things down if this bugs you, if this gets in the way. And it has a seat there, so you can put a rider up on top of it if you want. It might be more appropriate to put the Pillager Captain up here, but that's entirely up to you. Just in general, I think they did a pretty good job here. Wish the legs could be moved in some way, though. All right, that now brings us to the desert village terrain and structures. Over here on the left side, most of the base consists of an olive green section, which I believe is supposed to represent just, grass in a desert biome. But there could be a little bit of overlap with some savanna here. It's just a possibility. I believe this is the very first ever official LEGO Minecraft acacia tree. I think that's what they're going for there with the gray color for the, for the trunk and the bark, and then just a little suggestion of the reddish wood, using the dark orange colored plates in there. And then there's a trading post, which has a beautiful new tile that's used on top of some built-up blocks to represent some glazed terracotta there. That's really nice looking, and I believe that is also a lantern that is hung from underneath the eave there, done with just the all gold colored pieces. Have an additional block for trading in the back there, and then this chest has in it the bow, just a regular bow, and then a fish, which I'm assuming is cooked, and also some studs to represent diamonds and emeralds. Got a flowering pot here. This does use some of the relatively new 4x2 jumpers with 2 studs on top for easy connections between different sections. And then here's just a little bit of farming area. So wheat on the left, and then beets and carrots on the right, the water going down the center. And then just some carrots that have been fully harvested over here. And then one more connector, which takes us to the largest structure, which is just a form of desert house, which is maybe a little bit basic, but I don't know. I think it looks pretty good. Got a couple pots in the window there. It's indented. The door opens, of course, and that's brick built. So, that's pretty nice. Got a armor stand out to the side here, which could also be used towards trading. And this is fully enclosed around all angles. So, you got a full wall here. You got a full wall on the back, a full wall on the other side as well. So it's, fairly well done in that sense. And because it has all these windows, you can get a lot of light in there, so you can start to see the interior. But you can also remove, whoops, got a little aggressive with that, sorry. You can also remove the entire roof as a single assembly. And looking down inside, you got some nice carpeting there with the lime green color. Keeps it all bright, brightly colored bed as well. Single little bookshelf there. Got a crafting table, and then also a furnace. And here are this set's leftover pieces. There are plenty of them. They're just all pretty small, and nothing is too special. Here's the entirety of the Taiga Adventures set, and this one's so small. Let me just go ahead and go through the whole thing right here, right now. This is Steve, and if you've seen one Steve, you've seen most of them. They just change up a few things, very simple things. So this one has the gold pants, which is nice to see, and then a gold sword as well. So I'm assuming he may have actually found that as opposed to crafting it himself, but you never know. So yeah, Steve. And then a wolf, which is just a wolf. Pretty straightforward. Not a lot to talk about there, but it is what it is. Obviously not aggro at this point. Pretty straightforward. Set comes with a skeleton, and definitely once you've seen one of these Lego Minecraft skeletons, you've seen them all. They only add some armor every once in a while, but that's pretty much it. So no need to talk about that a lot, but I love the inclusion of the on fire piece. This is not new by any means, but it's really good. Really, really useful for doing exactly that. It also makes a perfect just bit of, a block on fire. You just put it on top of a block. But this in particular, I think, is super useful because so many times I think a lot of people are going to want to display things like skeletons out in just a normal day, just a normal, scene like this. And so this is how they would be if they're not standing, in water or under a tree or something. So this is perfect. Great to get that piece. It is dual molded right there. And then this is a fox, or at least it's supposed to be a fox. I definitely liked this from a distance. I like the build overall. Big bushy tail, very nice to see. But then the face is not right. They're just using a cat head mold, which is, I think is okay. It's not the best, but I think it's an okay compromise, just to use something that already exists. But on this one, it's missing so much from its print, and the eyes, like with the Illagers and the Villagers, the eyes are just not right. Just not right. They're not in the right place. I think the easiest way to explain all that is just to show the box. Because look, that's what an actual fox looks like in Minecraft. The eyes are all the way down, just above the snout. And then it also has the nice wide and white ears. So it's disappointing that the ears aren't white here. And definitely, there's the picture of the thing right there on the box, right? The real thing looks like it does in the picture on the box. That's good. But then, the physical thing. But then in Minecraft, well, there. See, should look more like that, and it doesn't. And they could have made it look more like that, I think. Just by moving the eyes down, it would have been so much better. Getting some more white on there would have been great too, around the chin line and in the ears, but they didn't do that. Too bad. Not one of the better made mobs, I think, that Lego has done. And then this bit of terrain here, let's move all this stuff out of the way. This is pretty simple. This is sand green, nice to get. I believe these are supposed to represent rose bushes, right? Am I the last person to remember when just basic single red flowers out in the field were called roses? Back before we had tulips and poppies and all these other things. It was just roses. It was a flower, it was a rose. Yellow, red, and that was it. The end. Did they even have yellow at first? Maybe it was. Anyway, back in the day, this actually has an action feature built into it because it has TNT, so it has to have an action feature because it's Lego Minecraft. The action feature is right there. Nicely integrated. So simple. Nice to get though. Just a little something. You just push down on that 2x4 tile and pop goes the weasel. Just pops this bit off. And that's that. Real simple, but works just fine. Lastly, here's the little set's little selection of little spare pieces. Let's talk about value. First, the big one. This is $60 US, 60. I feel like that's pretty fair for the amount of stuff that's here, for how diverse it is, for how usable it all is. You know, you get some proper structures, you get some proper terrain. Even though it does follow the new standard, the new Lego standard for Minecraft stuff of not being elevated, you know, the bases not being elevated like they were previous to this year. Still, I feel like it all goes together well enough. There's enough elevation change in the stuff that I see here. It all just seems pretty appropriate. The selection of figures is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. I would love to see it cheaper, sure. But I think that all things considered, 60 is not that bad. Yeah, not that bad. And then the little set, it's a little set, so it better be cheap. It's $10 for a box of that size. I mean, how many pieces? 74, a little bit on the low side if you look at a price to part ratio, but it comes with 2 full figures and a couple of mobs, you know, with special, special molds and prints as well. Not exclusive, but I mean, the Fox is new, but you know, in terms of value, I think it's fine. I love $10 sets, especially when they're useful, you know, and that one I think definitely is. What else did we learn here today, though? First of all, eye placement is very important. And Lego doesn't necessarily always agree with that. I think they need to get better at that. I learned that Lego Minecraft acacia trees are not hot. I also learned that Lego Minecraft glazed terracotta is hot. Is totally hot. It's awesome. I also learned that Lego can do a perfectly fine job of doing simple but effective and appropriate action features that don't get in the way of things looking good. Like, that is cool. It looks good. You can easily hide it away if you want. Got a basic little TNT feature over here, which they've done plenty of times before, but still, it's nice to see. Oh, and I also learned that Lego can make a building with 4 walls. Awesome. Not the first time they've done that, but it's, you know, it's not that common. So overall, there's a lot of good stuff here, I think. Just a few things that were not done so well. Mostly with the eye placement. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with most of the stuff that comes between these 2 sets. So that's pretty much it. I did build both of these sets in a single pure build real-time video, if you want to see that. And I also sped that up to create a single regular speed build with a little bit of music in there. So you can check out one of those if you'd like. Thank you very much. Please feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any of your own personal thoughts about these, including about their value, including if you disagree with my own opinions. And I'll talk to you again soon.